Right, okay. I had a few people get back onto me as to what exactly I did here, which I didn't actually get in the last video. So I'm just putting this together quick and get it up this evening. My initial problem started, I launched this up here first, then I did the y-axis, x-axis, but when I did the z-axis, the whole thing went south. This guy would read up here, other two wouldn't work. Down to the dealer on eBay that I dealt with. They were initially slow. First response was slow coming back, but after that they were pretty quick. But our major problem was translation. Their English wasn't very good, and anything they gave me took a bit of figuring out. Now I had this manual, which likewise was of no real help to me for the problem I had. So I wound up going into the back here, thought, check the boards, see that dry solders or some shit like that wrong. But just after I got the back off, I discovered that in fact there were two wires loose inside. One was the connection from the Z-axis going to the board, and the other one, not sure, didn't look to see what the hell it was. Put it back. Still had my problem. So I went to do a factory reset, which they had sent me the information on that, and it was a nightmare trying to figure it out. But basically what to do is, well, they did it for me. They got onto the dealer, give them the serial number that's on the back. Once you give that to the dealer, no, it's not on the outside, they'll always get it inside, and they'll send you on the paraphernalia what to do. Now, the evening I was doing it, the battery goes in this damn thing, and I never got around to explaining exactly what I did. So there's two problems as I see, because one cropped up after I'd fixed it, and I'll come to that in a minute. So let's say you're lit up here like this, and your buttons are working, they'll go, but nothing will read. Fix for this. Over here where my thumb is, this little S here, yellow S on a blue background, that opens up, call it another screen, another window, whatever, okay? And there are things can be figuring them out. That's just whether you want to read plus going that way or that way. It does it for all axes. That's the Z-axis. SMD, yeah, if you're going into that thing, that's fine. To clear it, you can do that. Sometimes you might have some crap thrown in there accidentally or something that's screwing it up. That could fix it. But here's where you need to go. If clearing the SMD doesn't work, set parameters, okay? Hit enter, and it asks for a password. Now the password is on page 45 or something of the book I have, but I think this, to do the defaults, is a standard enough one. It is 3211. That brings you into, let's say, another program, right? So again, we go down through it because we're looking for default. Default. We hit enter, and again it looks for the password. Same password, 3211. Now it's gone back into the defaults. Now I have this thing on, and before I switch it off, I'm going to reset my defaults. So that's done for something I'm fiddling with at the minute. Normally what you should see here is 0.005. If you're on absolute, it's something else increments. But that's basically just resetting what I've already fiddled with my defaults basically. It's probably you shouldn't do, but it's that's your default reset. And to exit out of that, the CE just above enter takes us back to set parameters, takes us back there, and you'll find that everything should work then. From what I've figured out on the factory reset, things need to be seriously wrong before you go down that road. But again, it's much the same thing. You go in here to where we got the defaults. You put in that 3211 for the first time. When it comes back around, you put in the code that they give you, and then it throws up x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, and there's two other things I can't think of them off the top of my head now. But for each one of those, as they come up, you put in this code, it comes back up, you put in the factory code, then it moves, when you hit enter, then it goes on to the next one, and there's a whole dance of things, but I think I've kind of figured now that it is probably easy enough to do. But the second code number depends, and it's not anything like the serial number, but it depends. You give them the serial number and they give you the code in that you can fiddle around with that, and they kind of say if that doesn't work, you send it back immediately. So that's that. I had all that zeroed, hadn't I? And there are the parameters I'm working on. No. Fine. Yeah, that's right. I'll just zero them again. That's done for various offsets. I'm doing a thing here. You trust me, I don't want to know all my head arrested, but it's working out. I have one done already. I'm happy to do it. I just have two more to do it. So that's basically it. Now, I said another problem. Yes, after I initially got it sorted at the end of the last video, which is over a month ago now, I suppose. First morning I come out, plug into the wall, turn on the power, and all I get is these two lines. Nothing, no, you hit all the buttons, nothing would happen. So, through trial and error, I discovered that to solve that problem, what you do is, no, I'm not going to do it here now because as I say, my thing's set. Just turn it on, and if that happens, when nothing happens here, leave it for a minute or so, probably warm up or whatever, because I happened to walk away from it. So I was, of course, I was done for my coffee. I came back, I switched it on now a few times, no good. So I tried various buttons here, switching off, and I discovered that switch off, press this button, switch the power back on, and it'll light up like this, but you still won't have a response from anything. All you do is knock the power off again, knock it back on, and the whole thing, you don't need to go to default or anything. It's odd. It's only happened one morning since I was away for a few days there working, and again I was out. And sure enough, on the first fire up first morning, the line is nothing here. So I thought, yeah, I just left it for a minute, and came back, knocked it off, pressed this guy, knocked the power on, and nothing, so I just knocked the power off, knocked it on. Everything worked. These are actually working. I didn't go to defaults or anything. But that works for me. If that happens, which from now on for the rest of the season I'm going to be away quite a lot, so the teaching is going to be plugged out. And I've actually done it purposely a few times just to check that it does work. That works for me. No, there's nothing about it in the manual. But it works. You just come up with a half screen, quarter screen, whatever. Just let it warm up. Switch it off. Hold this guy pressed. Switch it on. I think once, everything worked in. But normally you wind up doing another cycle. Power off, power on. Everything works. No messing around with default settings or anything. Just whatever cantankerous thing it has. So that is my experience with it. That's how you actually get the default reset. And you can reset your default depends on what measurements you want things to work at. So the normal thing is I 0.005. But if you're, it helps if you're fitting with other awkward stuff and you do really need a CNC for or something. You can set it and you know, if you can crash it, it will stop, yeah, go straight away. That's what we do at the minute. If you're moving the kind of stuff you can do with it. So, there's one of the things lacking. But I got mine working. Because resetting the default. But getting these buttons working can be a bit of grief. Go back to your power on with this guy pressed. Knock it off, knock it on. Everything should work. This allows you then to get in here and you cycle down to set parameters, hit enter, enter your code, cycle down again until you get default, hit enter, 3211 your code in, and once default comes back up again, hit this guy once, twice, and you're back here. It should be working. If they're not working, there's a problem here. But that's easy enough to figure that out. All it is if you have one working, try them all in it, and that one pull in the back. You'll know then whether they're working or not. You'll know whether you're coming back here for the problem. So that's it. Sorry about the delay in getting back to this. I'm actually going to just go do that now before I get finished with this thing.